My
is,
answer is
okay. Would you like to read
yeah.
or I'll read it for you?
I can read.
Is it fine?
Um,
Okay,
yeah, I'll try.
if it hurts, just tell me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so number one,
So my answer is um,
we feel,
how do we? Because we feel the weather is becoming hotter and hotter.
yes, the
So
weather.
we can feel yeah.
Okay, and you can also
Um,
add this word because you mentioned about hotter. So you can say the weather temperature.
temperature.
Yes, and that will be better, okay? So your sentence is good. It's better to say temperature because you say something about hot, okay? And then
Uh-huh.
next,
And then another evidence is we have more typhoons than before.
yes, very good. I
So
like this
it may
sentence.
yeah, so it may means climate changes.
Yes, or weather abnormality, okay?
Abnormalities, what?
Yes, here. Weather abnormality.
Abnormal,
Yes, it means that the weather or
abnormal.
the typhoons are not the same as they come before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. And well, actually, I like this sentence because it's related to me. It's related in our country because today we are having a typhoon and we still have more typhoons coming that we don't know when in this month.
I saw the news
Yes, we're having I think 3 to 4 typhoons this month. I'm not really sure
this
if
month.
yes, this month. So the
It's
first one
many.
already came and it started I think 3 days ago and now the wind is blows really strong. So I'm not sure where
Oh,
when are more of the typhoons coming. Okay, next.
to prepare some.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. What is it?
I oh, yeah, did you prepare something for you um to prepare some, for example, some food or water at home when the
Oh,
typhoon comes?
oh
Because it will
yes.
become inconvenient to go outside, right?
Yes, especially because we are also still suffering or we are still on COVID-19, the virus. So we need to stock food. We really need to buy food before it occurs.
Oh,
Yeah. So we are preparing
oh.
ourselves anyways. All right. Anyway, thank you for your concern. Next, also from the news.
Also, from the news, we know some animals are facing surviving problem.
Okay,
For
for example.
example, polar bear are in danger when the melting ice because of the melting ice in the North Pole.
Okay, you said the right answer because of. Okay, that's the missing part. Okay, I'll just erase it because of the melting ice in the North Pole. Okay, and here, sur- surviving. So it should be better to say survival.
Survival.
Yes, survival problems. Okay, the same thing as surviving. Survival.
Survival.
Yes, so you should use it in a noun form. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because we are talking about the survival. It's not the animals, but the
Mm.
survival problems. So this is the noun here. So it should not be surviving. Okay?
Okay.
And then that makes it good. Okay, better sentence. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next. Number three. Oh, anything else about number two?
Mm. How do we know?
So let's see number 3 because that's just somehow the same. So number 3, yeah, why is it a problem if the Earth's average temperature gets warmer? So please read. Would you like to?
Okay. First, I think when the average temperature gets warmer,
Okay.
gets warmer,
Warmer.
it
Okay.
means all animals need to be used to the changing environment.
Okay.
For example, some fish such as whales
Okay.
or birds tend to have their migrations by sensing the temperature. So if the temperature changes, they might be influenced and may affect their survival.
Okay. And then besides. Okay. I think instead of saying affect their survival, you can better use the word affect their habitat.
Habitat.
Yes, when you say habitat, this is the place where they live.
Habitat.
The forest, the ocean. Okay. Habitat is used the same as people. People live in houses, right? So for animals, house is what we call habitat. That's where they live. Ocean, water, land. Okay? So you can better to say they might be influenced and then affect their habitat. Okay, because they need to adjust. Okay?
Is habitat a countable noun?
Sorry?
Is the word habitat a countable noun? Should I plus S?
Yes.
So I have to say habitats.
Yes, habitats.
Oh, habitats.
Yes. In more specific, to be more specific, habitats. Okay?
And
Okay.
I have another question.
Sure.
Can I say whales fish, pet cow, whales fish?
Again, sorry. Can you say
Are whales fish?
vowels?
What whales? Whales. Are they fish?
Ah, okay. No, they are not fish.
Yeah, so how should I change the word?
Fish.
If I want to take whales as an example, but I cannot use the word fish, so is there any other word that I can use?
So which one do you prefer?
I
Are
want to take whales, for
Whales.
example. Whales,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just fine if you can just directly say such as whales, because you're pertaining to whales, and then you can just say some other species. You can just use the word species.
Species.
Yes. Okay, here. As whales or other species under the ocean. You can say this word if you are confused that whales are not fish and then you're talking about fish examples. So you can just say such as whales or other species under the water or under ocean.
So if I use such as, should I delete, for example?
No, it's okay, it's fine because you're giving an example.
Oh, but I think
For example,
is
whales.
equal to such as.
Yes. Okay, so here you will not use for example. So you can just continue the sentence. to changing environment such as whales or other species. Okay, or you can say the same, for example, whales or other species. Okay,
Oh,
say they just have the same meaning. So either, which one do you like? To continue, such as, or you give another point, for example, like that. So it's just the same.
but if I continue to use such as, then I need to change the sentence
Yes.
behind because the bird tend to have their migration is a sentence, so it's also a sentence. So it cannot be used as an example in this sentence, or the sentence will become too long.
No. Yes, that's right. However, it only depends on you if which one you would like to prioritize in this sentence. Do you want to prioritize different animals, or do you want to prioritize species under the water? Okay, so it depends. But since you've mentioned here, it means all animals need to be used to the changing environment. So you can say, such as species underwater or under the ocean, birds, and like birds tend to have their migrations by sensing the temperature. Okay, so here you can say this one.
Need to be used to changing environment.
Yes. If you like to divide the sense here, you can just simply say to changing the environment such as fish and like birds or fish under the ocean and like birds tend to have migrations by sensing the temperature. So it depends if you would like to prioritize about birds and then animals. So you need to change a little bit of like birds tend to have their migrations. Okay. Anyways, it's understandable if you can just say here, such as birds tend to have their migrations by sensing the temperature. So that is just an example. You are telling about animals. So it's fine if you will not mention about fish. Because you are describing about animals. Because you've mentioned about animals here. And then you just mentioned a specific animal, such as birds. Okay?
Okay.
Tend to have migrations. So you just gave an example of animal that you've mentioned animals, which is bird. So that is better then. Okay? Okay, because you're just giving an example on what happens to this such animal or this certain animal.
I want to mention whales because we'll have a migration behavior by sensing the current, right? Current.
Okay, so you can add then. So you can say such as birds tend to have their migrations by sensing temperature, and then you can say as well as whales, and then what do you want to say about whales? Such as whales.
The whales sense their route by ocean current.
Okay, sense.
And once the
please put your sentence.
and
Yeah, temperature as well as whales sense. Okay, here, continue.
Sense ocean current.
Okay, sense ocean current. And then?
Yeah.
That's it? By what? as whales sense the
And the current and and if the current temperature is become high, they might not find their route.
okay. So you can say ocean current that cause them to lose their what?
Route.
Okay, to lose their route. Okay, so you can say this word. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll just erase mine. Yes, and then that's it. Okay. Well, it's fine if you think it's becoming longer. So that's why I said it depends if which or what is your main point. Yes.
But if I say the sentence like this, it did not exactly it cannot exactly express what I want to mean, because I want to say the if the temperature of ocean current
Okay.
changes.
Yes.
So I need to mention the temperature, right?
No, because you've already mentioned that here. The average temperature gets warmer. It means you are talking then about the temperature changes. So you don't have to put it again and say it in the sentence, because that's gonna be redundant. And it will take you really long to explain. And then you're just going back and forth about the average temperature gets warmer and so on. Okay? Okay, that's why it's just fine, because you've mentioned animals. You can just give an example as birds. But if you want to also mention about whales sensing the oceanic current, so you can also say that. And then you don't have to say something about the temperature, because it's already here.
Okay.
So that's the point there. Okay, so remember, when you make a paragraph, and then you've mentioned about your point, the reason why these examples are becoming like these, so that's fine. That's it. That's just it. Okay? So that's the rule in paragraph. You mention about the subject, which is the temperature gets warmer, and then the cause to something or someone as example, which are the animals, and then the reason. So here, the reasons are migrations by sensing the temperature, and then lose their route because of the temperature. So that's the point there. It's fine. Clear?
Okay.
Or do you want another form? I think you're not convinced. Am I right?
Convinced? No.
I mean, you're still thinking of something. Yes, but I can feel that you still want something to change here. Am I right? Okay. Yes, well, anyways, because you mentioned about the main point of your paragraph, which is the temperature average, so it's just fine. Okay? Okay, but if you want to shorten, right? I think this is what you want. You want to make it short, right? Okay, so here's what you can do. Okay, I'll put it here, copy paste. Can you see? Okay, first, when the average temperature gets warmer, it means all animals need to be used to the changing environment, such as birds tend to migrate. So you don't have to say have to there, all right? Tend to migrate because, migrate by sensing the temperature, as well as whales sensing, all right? Sensing the ocean current that cause them to lose their route.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's a little strange if I say a sentence like this, which means the ocean current.
Again, sorry.
I mean, the ocean current, if I use the let cause them to lose their roots, then which means the ocean current cause the whales lose their roots instead of the temperature warmer
Okay, you can.
cause them to lose their roots.
So you would like to put the difference, am I right? The difference of birds and the whales, the difference of what happens to the birds and what happens to the whales. Do you want to put that difference?
Can I?
Yes, so we can say by sensing the temperature, period. On the other hand, whales sensing the ocean currents that cause them to lose their route. Okay,
It's in the ocean current.
so here you are mentioning the
Cause
difference of what happens to the bird or birds and whales.
other hand,
Yes, it means
sense. So I need to change sense into sense.
yes, whales sense the ocean currents that cause them to lose their route. Or you can just say whales are sensing the ocean currents that cause them to lose their route. Okay?
Hmm.
So here you are mentioning two different animals that are in two different habitat. Okay? So you can say this one. So you will make it short then on this part because again you're describing what's happening. Temperature changes may influence and affect their habitat, right? Besides, it may also affect. Oh no, just this part, right? So you can just simply say then, because you're mentioning about the temperature gets warmer, that's also the same as temperature changes, okay?
Mm.
So you can just say here. Let's erase that. Lose their route that affect their habitat. So that's as simple. Yes, you want to make it short, right?
Hmm.
So it means that what happens to birds and whales affect their habitat, their house, where they live. Okay?
But oh, sorry, teacher Esther. I
Sorry,
think
which?
the
Yes?
which affect
Yeah,
their
which affect their habitat. Okay?
um.
Or you can
So
say,
you are says the
you can
sentence
say
like this,
that
mean
affect.
which that will mean cause the whale lose their route, find their habitat, right?
Yes,
And all of these are because of the temperature gets warmer.
yeah, here, because of the average temperature gets warmer. Okay,
Okay, I got it.
okay, so clear? Is it clear?
The voice.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Because the
Okay.
volume is a little bit small.
Oh okay. So is it clear? Can we proceed?
Yes,
Okay.
it's clear now.
Yes. All right. And then besides, it may also affect.
Besides,
Yeah. You
it may
mentioned.
also affect economic behaviors, like some business will disappear.
Okay.
For instance, if you hot pot restaurant, you may encounter the difficulty when the temperature gets higher.
Okay. When the temperature gets higher. All right. I guess this is the problem here. Yeah, the last part.
Oh,
Because the point is getting unclear. All right, not really
oh,
unclear, not really unclear. The way you described it. Okay. Um, Instead
oh,
of saying economic behavior, you can say economic status.
status.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When you say status, this is the level of how you earn money and how you live, right?
Mm,
Okay, so you can say status.
status.
Yes, status. And then, like some business or some business will disappear. Okay, so that's kind of direct to say because there's no sense saying like a business will disappear suddenly, right? So you should have something before this. All right, so it may also affect humans' economic status, such as you can say, all right, such as business or business um, breakdown.
Oh, yeah. It's the
Business,
different things.
yes, exactly. So you're pertaining to any types of business that are breaking down because of the economic status. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. For instance, so that's right. Well, as you said, such as, and then you said, for instance, you're telling a situation, so that's good. For instance, if you run a hot pot restaurant, you may encounter the difficulty when the temperature gets higher. Okay. Um, how should I complete this thought? Because your thought is missing here. Um,
Oh, really?
Yes, because you said encounter the difficulty. So you've mentioned about difficulty, but there's no point. You did not mention about what difficulty, right? If
Oh,
you run a hot pot
because I
restaurant,
think because I think if the temperature is getting warmer, then people don't want to go to eat hot pots.
okay.
Yeah, because hot pot is still is something hot and warmer.
Okay, well you can
People want
use.
to drink something cold.
Okay, you can. Okay, I'll try to revise your sentence. It's just fine. I would like to use hot pot. Okay, so here
But
again.
you
Yes.
know, do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. Okay, because if like what you said here gets higher, it means the temperature gets warmer or hotter, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So it means that it's no sense. There will be no sense for people to eat hot pot because it's not compatible to the temperature, to the weather, right?
Oh,
Am I right?
I
Is
think.
that your point?
Mm,
So why did you use
I
hot
think.
pot?
Why do I use the hot pot?
Yes. So let's
Because I
name.
think if the weather is cold, then people are more desired to eat something hot. So
So
I use hot pot. But
okay.
if the weather is getting hot, then people don't want to go there.
Okay, that's the sense, but you did not mention here. That's why it's kind of incomplete because you suddenly said you may encounter the difficulty. So what's difficulty? Because you did not mention any, just hot pot. So the sense is not there. That's why it's incomplete. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's incomplete. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So
So
for
it was said-
instance, if you run a hot pot restaurant, and then you can say a little about the weather, and the weather constantly change. Okay, constantly change.
Change.
Yeah.
Weather.
Okay.
Change into.
And the weather is always, or if the weather gets warmer, right? Since you are pertaining to warmer, that is opposite to, because you're telling about the opposite of having a hot pot restaurant and the weather, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So if you're in a hot pot restaurant and the weather gets warmer, it might affect your business, or it might affect your sales.
Okay, affect your sales.
Yes. Anyways, in terms like this, we don't have to talk about the sales, right? So you can just say, okay, because you mentioned about encounter
People will lose
difficulty,
their appetite.
people will lose their
Can
appetite.
I say
Okay,
appetite for eating something hot?
yeah.
So you will encounter difficulty when the temperature gets higher.
Okay, so if you're in a hot pot restaurant and the weather, okay, the weather is warm, okay, is warm. People, right?
People will lose their appetite for eating something hot.
Okay. People will. Oh, sorry. You can just say your. No. The business will lose the sense for people to eat hot pot. Okay.
Lose the sense for.
Yes, lose the sense for people. It means um, people will not think of eating hot pot because it's not good for the weather. Okay, so the sense of having a hot pot.
The sense for.
Yes,
What's the
because
sense?
yeah, what's the sense of having a hot pot restaurant if the weather is too hot, right? Just like when it's winter, what business you should have? It's not ice cream because the weather is snowy, and then you will sell ice creams or ice cream products, right? So that's the sense. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So instead, the sentence you just said about people will not eat blah blah blah. So that is about if you run a hot pot restaurant. It's already here. Okay. So you don't have to mention people will not eat, but you can just. Oh no. I mean what you said. So you will just say if the weather is warm. We're talking about the business. You are talking about the business here, right? So you should connect. You should connect the subject that you're referring to, business breakdown. So you will just say also here, the business will lose the sense for people to eat hot pot. Okay, so that completes the thought. Okay, because if you will tell the sentence you said, it might look incomplete, and then you will add another sentence again, right? But the sentence is just also the same, and then you will add another example again, so that will take you quite long to complete the sense of your sentence. So here is the way, okay? So just remember, you always connect your sentence to what you are referring about. So since we
Oh.
are referring about humans, economic status, and then
Mm.
business breakdown as an example. So you've mentioned a hot pot, which is a business as a restaurant, then you will use the business again here as your example.
Okay.
Because if you will use the hot pot, business, blah blah, and then hot pot again here, and then hot pot here, so that's kind of redundant. Okay?
Um,
Okay.
Actually, I want to mention another example.
Oh, sure. It's fine to just talk about this part because I think it's very useful for you. It's fine. Okay, what would you like to
I
mention?
think if you are sell a coat, a
Coat.
heavy
Okay.
coat,
Okay.
yeah, it will still be it
So,
will still be affected because when the temperature gets warmer, then people will wear shorts or short t-shirt, so they won't buy the heavy coat.
okay.
Yeah,
Heavy
and
coat.
then they
Okay, and then?
yeah. So the business will also face the breakdown situation.
Okay, so are you referring to bankruptcy?
Bankruptcy. Eh? What is
Yeah.
bankruptcy?
Bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy is bankruptcy. What does it mean? Breakdown?
Yes, it means this is the state of failure. Your
Oh, yeah.
sales percentage will get lower.
Yes.
Okay, so then your point here is the effect on your sales, not people.
So my point is some
Yes.
some some products, some I cannot find out the word.
Your food will not be
Some
sold.
industry,
Okay.
will be influenced
Okay.
because of the temperature gets high. Temperature gets higher or
Okay.
warmer. Yeah. So my example, the example I think I thought of is our Hapa restaurant and the clothing industry.
Calvin, can you type?
Clothing.
Clothing. Okay. Yeah, clothing industry. Okay.
Industry. Like if people sell
Okay.
heavy clothes in hot weather,
Okay.
it's impossible to sell them out.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
So how can I make my thoughts more fluency?
More direct, you mean?
More direct? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, to be honest,
Do you know what I mean?
yes, I know what you mean, but I'm having a hard time to think of changing your sentence because as much as possible, if my student used a certain example like hot pot for you, and then clothing industry, I want to use this too, even if it's really difficult for me to state the point. All right, and then okay, let's go here. Last, if also influences people's health, temperature changes cause some people's bad accommodation toward it. So it is indeed a problem if Earth's temperature gets warmer. Okay, the only problem I can see here is that your examples are quite not related. Not connected, I mean. Not related. Not connected. So that's why we're having difficulty to connect them all, as your point does not really come out. Okay?
Oh,
Okay.
but I do think this will be affected.
Okay. All right. So here's what I can do. Because because we're losing our time. So I will read your answers here, and then maybe
Okay.
tomorrow you can check it, and then I'll put a better way, or I'll do what I can to connect each of these sequence as one paragraph. Okay.
Okay.
All right, because it's not connected, I said, because you mentioned about average temperature, and then you said about animals. And then on the next paragraph, you've mentioned, because you said besides, it means another example, right?
Yeah.
Which is right. However, it's another way that you've mentioned here, which is not related to the first, which is not connected, which is not connected to the first paragraph. So we need to connect this paragraph to be able to make your point clear.
I mentioned 3 different things, right?
Yes, 3 different things, but those are here on question number 2. Here,
Oh,
yes, okay, these are just 3 evidences or examples, sentences, but here you're mentioning 3 different examples, which are in one paragraph. So you need to connect them to each other to make it one thought, that you are referring about the average temperature gets warmer. That's your point there, right?
okay.
Okay. So I'll review this after our class, and then maybe I can send it to you later. If you are still awake,
Okay.
you can check it on Skype. And then if you're sleeping, or if you will sleep later, you can just check your Skype tomorrow. I will
Okay,
put
I'll
yours.
check it tomorrow.
Yes, sure. I will put the sentence, the paragraph this paragraph that is yours on Skype, and then I will send the other paragraph that I think that's what you want to say. That's what you want to point out. Okay?
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, because I think it's very important for you to learn how do you say such like this. That's why you are really into it. Is it? Okay, so I'll just send it to you on Skype. Don't worry. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, alright. Because this is another...
I cannot.
Yes?
No, I can't. I'm a little bit confused because I think these 3 different things are all province. But
Yes, about
now
the temperature.
I have to say about temperature, the province about temperature. But it seems that I have to just mention one thing and then make it connected.
Yes.
I answer this question.
Yes. Okay. And one more thing, when you are giving examples, make sure that your examples are similar.
Similar.
Yes, similar. Like, hot pot is about food. And then clothing industry is about clothing. So they are quite not compatible as examples, though they are good examples.
But there are all something about business.
Yes, some business. And then you just need to make another point again, right? But the main
Oh.
point here is not your example, okay? The main point is that you are explaining about business. So it's just fine if you use hot pot. It's just fine if you use clothing industry. And it's better if you just choose one because the thought is already there that
Mm-hmm.
you are saying if the weather is opposite to your business, it affects your sales, right? The same as clothing. If your clothing design is opposite to the weather, it also affects your sales,
Yes.
right? Okay, so I'm getting the point now, but I'll try to revise it. I really want you to be convinced here because I can feel that you really want to make it better, right? So I will send it to you
Yes.
later, and you can check tomorrow if ever you'll sleep. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, yes, no problem. Well, this is a very good example. Number 4, look at your answer here. Is climate change harmful for plants and animals? We are talking two subjects, animals and plants. But your sentence, your paragraph is connected. When all creatures are already used to the current temperature, the climate change is indeed not a good thing for them, just as dinosaurs encountered sudden climate change in their age. They were extinct. So you don't have to mention about plants. But because you've mentioned about the changes of animals, that also relates to plants. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
See? It's one whole thought.
Yes.
But you don't have to mention animal of plants because you used the animals as example. So it's fine if you don't want to use plants. And it's also fine if you would like to say something more about plants. Okay?
Okay.
You can say here, you can continue. Likewise, plants, blah 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 blah. Okay?
Okay.
So that's just one point that I'm telling you here. If you would like to direct your sentence about birds, you can just mention about birds because it also talks about the changes on the habitat of whales. So here you want to use hot pot, so it's also the same as saying the business clothing industry. Your point is just the same. You're just making more sentences, but the thought is just the same. So that's why
Yes.
you get confused how to say it more, but it's just the same. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. But anyways, I will do my best to use hot pot, clothing industry. Well, this first paragraph we're done. This is fine already. Okay? I will just have to revise this part and this sentence. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Clear?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Clear.
Yes. Okay. Anyways, number 4, just a little changes about the words. So I'll just put the correction and then you can just check tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. I won't take much of your time. And oh, please bring your boiled ginger. That's very important if you are teaching and talking the whole time. Because even if you drink at home and then you talk too much at school, that's no use. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, please bring with you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And drink warm water. A little bit hot.
Okay.
Yes, a little bit hot. Okay?
Really hot.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. All right. Get well soon, and I will. You can just check that later or tomorrow on your Skype.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes. So you can just answer 5, 6, and 7 question. All right. As your homework, because we didn't finish tonight. Okay. So thank you for having you again, and have a great night. Have a good sleep.
Yeah. Thank you too.
Okay. You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye.